next one is the 11th house, the house of heartfelt creation and connected offering. And this is relevant for you if you have Gemini on your first house, and because that means that Aries is in your 11th house, and Saturn is then entering or has entered this part of your life, you could say. Just want to say that the star number system is a system that I have downloaded during meditation over 3 years, and I have created a video talking about what it is and how it works, and you can work with it yourself based on that video. It basically explains it, the whole system, and makes it very step-by-step formula based, so easy to work with. But aside from that, I also have received information about how to see the houses, the 12 houses, and it's a new way of looking at the houses, astrological houses, and I have created a PDF that you can download and get for free if you sign up for my newsletter, and there's a link in the channel description, so you can do that if that is interesting. Anyway, the 11th house in the star number system is called the house of heartfelt creation and connected offering, and it is the number 11, and 11 is 1 plus 1, which is 2, and so it is like these two creators standing side by side, and through their combined giving they will receive. And it is like a manifestation journey that begins with the number 1, where I give, and then it kind of culminates almost in this 11, where it's like I give and I give, and when I give and I give, then I also receive. So it's like a beautiful master number, you could say. And this house holds the question of whether your efforts actually reach the people that they are meant for. So this is a very important and interesting part of your chart. And for Gemini Rising, Aries has always been and always will be the natural tool for your 11th house. And that means that you have the courage to put your creations out there. And you really have a determination and a passion and a fire to share without guarantee of any response. Like you have this directness of somebody who carries their work and then offers it generously to the world. And that is how you connect with this passion and drive and boldness. And so that means that the way you share with the world has always been having this brave tendency about it. And now what happens is that this way of sharing with the world is maturing into a more structured contribution to the world, you could say. And that what is new here is that during this transit of Saturn in Aries, then the energy that enters this arena is Saturn, and Saturn represents the area of structure, leadership, discipline, long-term growth, and of course also your relationship with time itself, which is now entering this arena. So over the coming years, your offering to the world begin to take on a more long-term structured quality. And the creation you share is not just like a one-off here and driven by your inspiration and passion, but it's becoming a more sustained body of work that is building a proper audience and a community and a network of people who is now will keep coming back. So your social world begins to potentially also crystallize into something more real, meaning that you might have real relationships. So when you give, you get back from people who are really loving what you're giving. And so that can be real relationship, real customers, real collaborators, real community rooted in what you are consistently offering and giving. So so you might find yourself drawn to commit to long-term creative projects and build something structured rather than scattering it, and or building a little bit here and a little bit there. So now with the Aries tool that you have available here anyway, that gives you the courage to keep putting things out there. But Saturn now adds the structure, and it turns whatever you're offering into more like a foundation or a discipline to share something that is potentially more a body of work, like, and you also have the patience to let the right people find you over time. And so that means that when you keep sharing and putting yourself out there, then, and you consistently do it and you continuously work towards it and you have the patience around it, well, then eventually it's going to come back, and it's like compounding over time. And in the beginning, it's kind of like with compound interest, right? In the beginning, you put a little bit, if you keep putting a little bit in every day, just the fact that you put in a little bit every day, the interest itself will generate, suddenly it'll go exponential in the what you get back, right? And that's how you can see this. You could, yeah, I don't know, I don't have a good example now. But the Aries, the Saturn in Aries is the number 98 according to the star number system. And 98 adds up to, 9 plus 8 adds up to 17, and 1 plus 7 then adds up to 8. So you can say that within the number 98 is the number 17, and that is what is unfolding within this number. And therefore we have to also look at the number 17 and what that energy is. And that is the energy of inspired creation. It is bringing your dreams and inner vision into form through bold, general self-expression. So the 7 is about your dreams and vision, and the number 1 is about self-expression and sharing in abundance and giving. And so for your 11th house, that means that your inspired offering is now taking a real lasting form, and that is when you share year after year, it becomes a foundation that is real and a proper connection to others. They will really connect with what you're sharing, with your body of work. And so then the result energy of all this, so when you use this tool of Aries and apply it to the structure, when you're bold and courageous in relation to both leadership and structure, and bold and courageous in the fact that you will show up every day, then what you end up with is a real crystallization. Something becomes real. Your community becomes real and visible. Your offerings find their audience. The people who are meant to find you, they will treasure you, and they will love what it is that you create, and they will gather around you. And there's a confidence then that will result in you. You will become a better leader and have full confidence in what you're sharing, because you have kept doing it. You keep sustaining your offerings, you keep showing up, you are structured, you contribute consistently, and then you will have this knowledge that you are building something. What you have done is you've built something real. And then I have an affirmations on the slide and the screen, but I will just read it out loud. I welcome structure and long-term vision into what I share. I've always known how to give bravely and offer my work generously. Now I let my inner vision shape what I commit to creating for the long road. I commit, I show the way, and I feel deep clarity and confidence, knowing my offerings are reaching their people and building something lasting. That is it. And I just want to have the last word here is that just to remind you about this architecture of Saturn in Aries, is that Saturn is of course the area of this long-term building, structure and leadership, while Aries is the tool to apply to that area, and that is the tool of being courageous and persistent in taking action and having some passion and drive. And so then when you apply this passion and drive and being courageous to this structure building and to your leadership, then what you end up with is crystallization and clarity and confidence. And so your dreams are then ready to take form that is lasting, and you have the courage to give them shape, and the clarity and confidence will meet you on the other side. So I hope that is helpful for you, and like and subscribe if you will, and don't if you don't, and then I will maybe see you again. Thank you. Bye. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Over the next many years, from 2025 to 2028, Saturn is moving through Aries, and I am going to talk to you today about how this transit affects each of you in according to your rising sign. Depending on where Aries sits in your chart, it will have an influence on your energy that Saturn has now moved into this area of your chart. But first, I can say that I'm talking from the star number system, which is my own system, it's not really my own, it's a system that I have received during meditation over the last about 3 years. And it's kind of like a new way of interpreting astrology and numerology and so on. It's like a mix of the two. So let me take you through this transit using this system that I have received. So I won't take the credit for it, actually. That's probably too much. So between 2025 and 2028, Saturn moves through Aries in the... Oh, let me just do this so I can better see. So between 2025 and 2028, Saturn moves through Aries. And in the star number system, Saturn is the area of life that holds your structure, your leadership, ambition, consistency, discipline, and long-term growth. And also, of course, overall, it's also your relationship with time. So this is where you build things that lasts, where you commit for the long haul, and where you become steady and dependable as a leader, so that and a leader that others can lean on. So this is Saturn, which is the number 8. And then Aries, I look at Aries as the tool that will be used in this area of life. So Aries as a tool carries the energy of the number 9, which is courage, determination, persistence, stamina, compassion, and unstoppable drive to show the way by doing. It is really truly an area of life where we have a lot of drive, but also where it's not by telling people what is right and what is wrong, but really showing by doing. And so Aries is a fire sign, you could say. So it is also about taking action and initiating. So it's brave and self-reliant and confident. And when you use Aries as a tool, you will then lead by example, and you will take action with purpose and on your purpose, and you will move forward with a conviction. So bringing these two energies together in the star number system, that brings about the number 98. So if we then follow this numerological journey, then 9 plus 8 is 17. And 17 we reduce again, because we can say 1 plus 7 is 8. And so the resulting energy is 8. And that takes us back to the kind of the Saturn energy itself. And that is the thing about being in Aries, that it kind of returns its original energy to itself, but it actually goes through another energy in the process. So it adds another element. And so that return to the number 8 then is resulting in what we can say is crystallization. It's things taking shape, it's clarity, it's becoming tough in a new way, because you've gone through kind of like a crystal. It takes a lot of pressure for a crystal to become a beautiful crystal, and in the same way we become tough when we go through things. And it is also about showing the way, inspiring others. It's about feeling confident, determined, and also it is highly connected. The number 8 is highly connected to being successful as well. So there is this intermediate number 17, and that is what makes number 98 so interesting, because it's not just that you have the area of life, the number 8, and then with this way of working with that, which is the 9. No, there's another energy in between, which is 17, before you actually get to the result. And 17 has therefore its own meaning in this journey from 9 to 8 to 8. And so 17 is the energy of inspired creation. So it's about bringing your dreams and inner vision into form through bold expression, self-expression, you could say. The intermediate number 17 has its own meaning along this journey from 9 to 8 and 98 to 8. And 17 is the energy of inspired creation. It's basically about bringing your dreams and inner vision into form through bold self-expression. So when you act with courage on this work that is, you can say, the work that you're doing, which is where you're in it for the long haul in a way. When you act with courage on that work, then because 8 is about taking steady, taking consistent action. It's about consistency and keep moving on something. It's like compounding, if you've ever heard of that. And so that is just putting in the work day in and day out. But when you act on courage with that, but also have this element of, you have to remember what is your dreams and what is your inner vision, at the same time as you have to also use your self-expression and truly put yourself into it, something that you're excited about. Then you're kind of bringing together this stretch where your dreams and visions are taking visible form, and they do that through this brave and persistent creation. So from there you then end up with the number 8 again, and that is, as I mentioned before, it's this crystallization and clarity, and also inner confidence. The confidence that you gain from taking the steps and daring to really be brave, and also putting yourself out there. And it also, in this case, daring to do it through through putting yourself out there. So this is a powerful combination. And Saturn is really the area for this long-term building. It's about structure and leadership, while Aries is the tool of being courageous and being also persistent in the action. It kind of have a similarity there with Saturn, right? There is a persistence and determination in both the number 8 and 9. And then the resulting energy is that when you then do this right, when you kind of do what the energy is asking you to do, then you kind of bravely commit to building something real and show up day after day with this discipline. And also at the same time, you remember that it has to resonate with your dreams and wishes, and you have to in some way self-express. Then you will end up with this deep clarity and confidence. So that is, you could say, it's even like this way of having earned satisfaction, knowing that your work is taking shape over time, right? So you slowly see the progress. And so in this transit, when Saturn is in Aries, then that is then impacting everybody, because everybody has Aries somewhere in their chart, and Saturn is the energy that is then moving through these areas of our lives and brings in this energy and a collaboration between the Aries tool and the area of Saturn. And so we will all feel this shift towards courageous, disciplined building, and also towards leadership that steps forward and leads by example and demonstrate what is possible through consistent, brave action. So over these next 3 years, many people will feel that growing urge to commit to some long-term project, and something that actually truly matters, something that is grounded in a personal dream perhaps, or a personal vision even. And so bring something that truly matters about, right? Get it into 3D reality, not just having it as a dream in the ether forever. Maybe it's something that has been considered for a long time, but that you haven't really been daring to take action on. And now here comes this Aries energy and says, you have to be courageous. Now go do it. And put yourself out there in a way, right? And so then in that way, you will enable your dream to take a real, tangible, lasting shape, right? That's really what's in the mix over these next 3 years. So it's super exciting. It is really an exciting period and super, super cool with Saturn and Aries. So we can really move forward and on our dreams and wishes, you could say. So the key message then is of Saturn in Aries is through this star number system, that you are willing to commit with courage, and whatever it is that you're committing to with courage will then crystallize and take shape and come into being. So that is a super big promise, and that is of course something that you have to kind of bring with you now and feel like, oh wow, this is actually an amazing power. So what do I really want to commit to and be bold about, and what do I really want to see crystallize? If you could choose something specific in your life that in 3 years from now, and by the time Saturn leaves Aries, that you can see that you have made this dream real, what dream would that be? And then find the courage within yourself to go for it. That is really the message here. So being bold is not just about having the spark and having this idea and a good intention and I'll do it tomorrow. No, it's actually about being bold enough to take action today and being bold enough to take action every day, so it becomes a structure you put in place for yourself and thereby crystallize it. So be brave enough to start and persistent enough to keep going. That is really what is gonna make your dreams come true over the next 3 years, and depending on when you listen to this, over the years to come. And this is, of course, an energy you will have with you forever, because you've been through this energy, so you'll know how to do it, how to be persistent and keep going. Okay, and then you have to trust that when you lead through a consistent, courageous action, that you will build something that is real and lasting, and that in that way, that is the cool thing about Aries, is that when you really use this idea of Aries, like when you use the energy of the 9, which is Aries, then you actually you are showing the way. You do give others a permission slip to be just as cool as you. Okay, so so the formula is this. So Aries is 9 and Saturn is 8, and so that in the star number system, that is 98, which reduces to 17, which reduces to 8. And so the tool is the way you should act. If you bring out your toolbox, then this tool now is to be courageous, persistent, determined, and take action towards something that you're passionate about. And then in this area of life, you should do that in the area that is connected to your structure, your leadership, your discipline, long-term growth. And so when you do that, and also remember that in between, remember to put your dream into whatever it is you want to grow long-term. And then when you do that, then you will end up with something that is crystallized, it's clear, it's confident, it's real, it's tangible, and you are showing the way. All right, so in the coming sections, then we go through each of the houses, because it affects everybody a little bit differently depending on their rising sign. A rising sign, Aries, is always in your specific house. It doesn't change houses. Like let's say your Aries rising, then Aries is always going to be your first house. And so that's the tool you have available to maneuver with your first house, and then Pisces in your second house, for instance. So that is always the natural tool for that house setting for your specific rising sign. But and remember that for that area of your life that we're going to go through now, then there's a fire and courage and directness in that arena of your life. So, and that is part of how you operate, or how you at least ought to operate, how you should operate. And so what is new, what is actually the only new thing for you now, is that the energy of Saturn is coming into this arena. And that means that suddenly this arena of your life is being presented with this Saturn energy, which is structure and discipline and long-term vision. But in the fact that it comes into the Aries part, it gives it lights up this energy that is different from when it goes into other areas, right? Saturn is not equal in all sign. It doesn't act in the same way in every sign it goes into, because it triggers something specific. And here, for instance, it triggers that you not only have the long-term vision of Saturn and the drive and passion and directness of Aries. No, the two combined gives this magical influence of 17, which is also about tapping into your dream and putting yourself out there, taking the stage a little bit, right? And yeah, so that is kind of what is going to be new in your specific area of your life in that way. So let's go through it. Let's start with Aries then. In the house